Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm Jake.
And I'm Brodie. We're the hosts of Chortle something or other.
It's a Chortle everything. We're everything Chortles here because we laugh a lot. Ha ha ha. In case you didn't know, this is Chortle Cast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about TV shows, animes, movies, video games.
Pretty much just video games at this point.
Pretty much video games, but today we have a lot of movies.
That's true. We should change the intro to being like
It's
video games and sometimes other things.
video games and the occasional random thing that we want to talk about. There you go. That's Chortle Games. We've got a great show for you this week. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about some God of War. No spoilers. We're going to talk about Fortnite. We're going to talk about PS Plus and Xbox Gold games for the month of May. We're going to talk about the Venom trailer.
Break your damn pen.
I'm going to break my pen. And we're going to talk about some Marvel news. But no Infinity War spoilers. Steven is going to see Infinity War. Actually, by the time this podcast airs, he will have seen Infinity War. He will have streamed a first reaction live stream playing.
I'm not watching that.
Playing.
Are you watching that?
I'm not watching it. I'm not seeing it till tonight, Friday night. But anyway, Steven has already streamed an impressions video on the channel. It'll be him and a guest playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I think is the game. They're playing that, but they're talking about Avengers Infinity War. So if you want to hear Steven's immediate thoughts on that, you can go watch that right now on the channel and hang out with that. Probably next week's podcast, we'll talk pretty in depth about it because at that point, we'll all have seen it.
I just thought about the fact that I have to stream with Steven tomorrow night. Ooh. And he's going to want to talk about it so bad.
So anyway, go check that out. And we're going to have lots of, I think we're planning to do another theory video next week about what's going to come after, what's going to happen in part 4. So a lot of Marvel stuff is going to continue to happen. But anyway, I think that's all my housekeeping news.
I guess.
So let's jump on.
I told you that someone's going to spoil. I'm seeing it Saturday night. Someone's going to spoil this movie.
I'm seeing it Friday night.
I'm going to see something on Twitter. I'm probably just not even going to use social media until Saturday night.
That's what our good buddy Ryan from Classic Gamers, he's like, I'm out. He's like, I am not on Twitter today or tomorrow. I'm seeing it tonight. I'm just done. So
I was in a voice chat on his Discord today, actually. Yeah. And he was he started a thread or something. It was Infinity War theories, go. And people just started talking so fast. So I was like, this just needs to be a voice chat so everyone can just talk over each other. And then he made it. And then I think he said he bought $100 worth of tickets. And then
$100 worth of tickets?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Did he do a giveaway or something?
No, I think it was just for his friends and they're paying it back or something.
Oh.
But his bank immediately called him and was like, "Was this you?"
Was it you? Why
Yes.
do you want to see this movie 100 times? Because it's going to be great.
Dude, I wish movie tickets were only $1.
Yeah, true. No joke. No joke. All right. Anyway, we always start the show with a little segment we call Catch Up.
Mustard, mayo, pickles, lettuce, tomato. Did I say onions? Onions. What else would you throw on a hamburger? Cucumbers.
Cucumbers?
I'm just kidding.
What?
You sounded angry.
Armpit. I was a little bit.
Did you say armpit?
But no. But I was gonna say, aren't pickles cucumbers that have just been soaked in vinegar?
Yeah.
So I don't know why I was so grossed out at the idea of
cucumbers.
Cucumbers. How dare you? I only have pickles. But yes, Catch Up. That's where we discuss games we've been playing over the past week, and I have been playing one of the greatest games on PlayStation 4.
Actually, I don't want to know anything about.
Brodie has not played yet, so I am. We're going to talk about God of War. No spoilers whatsoever, because Brodie will literally punch me in the face if I misstep. Huh?
I think I would.
Yeah, I know you would. I'm a little scared. I've been contemplating what I'm going to talk about because I know how.
I like the part when that thing happens.
That thing happens. Lots of things happen. So let me just preface this with if you watched our content, you know I was not interested in God of War necessarily.
I think I was the only one that was even I was I'm going to get it eventually.
Yeah. Did you put it on your most anticipated games for 2018 at the early beginning of the year?
So. It must have been
I know it was not on mine.
I
know it was not on mine. But even if it had been, it would have been real low.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I went from that to then I saw some footage and thought, I'll play it, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I saw reviews and watched reviews, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I pre-ordered this now. And then now that I've played it, holy crap. And to set it even further, like, I've been excited about Ni no Kuni too. And so since I edit almost everything on the channel, and I do a lot of other, like, maintenance stuff, so my game time is cut in half because of the channel, which is fine, because I like doing the channel. But
channel.
Anyway, basically, when I have time to sit down and play a game, like, that time is, like, really precious at this point. Like, there's not a whole lot of it. So I've been playing Ni no Kuni, but I've been doing it basically where, like, I'll edit on one night, and then I'll play Ni no Kuni on one night, and then I'll edit another night. Or I may go a week of not playing Ni no Kuni, whatever. God of War is so good, it made me move my PS4 to another room so I could continue playing it more. Which is so inconvenient the way I have my PlayStation set up for the channel, because it's all wired into our systems. So I've gone through, like, real inconvenience to play this game because it's that freaking good. Okay? Now that's as non-spoiler as it can get. I'm gonna dive in now. Again, no spoilers, but, like, I'm gonna talk about it now.
Do you like the single camera shot?
The single camera shot is really cool. They're not lying. It is a single camera shot.
Even the main menu is just like...
The main menu, basically, you just stop, and it basically freezes frame. I feel like even in the menu, you can still see where you're at, but it's like real. I know it's like it's covered with a black screen, but the black has a little opacity, I think. Anyway, but then you come back in and it's just, whoop, we're still going. Whoop. Everything is. To the point that sometimes I don't even know when a movie, like when a cutscene has started, because I'm still walking the direction that the clip has taken over. So, like, there are times where I'll be moving and then I'll stop to see if I'm in a cutscene yet, just to kind of prepare myself for whatever's about to happen. But it is a great game. Combat is a lot of fun.
How's your Mjolnir axe?
The Mjolnir axe is amazing. Throwing that axe in this game is the most fun thing you can do. But it's good. Like, but the combat is really, really fun, and it has this, like, feel, like when you call back that axe and it just boom in your hand and you feel it, and it's like, yeah. But it gets, I don't know, you can do upgrades and stuff, and if you really dive deep into that, it's still a good combat system regardless, but, like, I have fallen into this slump where you got quick attacks and you got fast attacks, and then it's like you can do a combo move where you, like, 2-2-1 or whatever. There's like more complex things you can do. But I'm a simple man. I'm a man of simple means. I want to upgrade my basic abilities to do their best. I want to
press one button.
I want to press one button that kills everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how I play games. So anyway, I am still getting into what you can really do with combat. But now, let me tell you this. What really frickin' throws a whole frickin' loop in the basket is frickin' Artuis. Kratos' son. I'm not going to tell you specifics.
I know he kicks stuff. I've seen him drop kick something in a GIF.
There's one thing that I don't know if it blew my mind, but when I found out he could do that, I got really freaking excited. And that's probably the thing that I'm most excited about his abilities.
You can upgrade him too.
Yes.
Okay.
You can upgrade his armor, which changes what he will do for you. Like, there's one called a sharpshooter, and I think it, like, increases his shooting ability or whatever. But the one I use, he'll find health stones for you and throw them at you.
Okay.
And heal you and stuff.
That's nice of him.
But he gets like different kind of arrows, and his arrows get different abilities, and there's all sorts of stuff he can do with that. And he becomes a vital part of your combat. To the point that he saved my ass a few times.
Yeah.
So,
how familiar with, like, Norse mythology are you?
I am fairly familiar. I have a working knowledge. It's almost like, you've taken Spanish, through school.
All I really know is, like, Odin, Thor, Loki.
Yeah.
Fenrir.
Yeah.
The World Serpent. That's about it.
I'm about at that level, maybe a little deeper, but like I knew about the World Serpent. I knew about the 9 realms, the World Tree, Hela. There's some names that are being dropped that I don't know, but then there are some other names that are being dropped that I like feel like I have a good understanding of. Yeah. I do feel like I have a better understanding of Ragnarok and that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to spoil anything.
I mean, I figured that. Don't get into anything. Like, don't.
I'm not going to
confirm this, but I was pretty sure that Kratos was just going to start Ragnarok. Like, that's been a theory of mine since the game was announced and the World Serpent showed up.
I genuinely cannot confirm or deny that, but I agree with you.
Yeah. Because everyone knows that. I guess not everyone. When the World Serpent lets go of its tail, that is a sign that Ragnarok is happening.
Well, then shit's about to go down because that sucker ain't holding nothing.
Because I think Fenrir eats the moon or some shit too, or something.
That may be one. So I have a praise, but also a complaint. But it could be that I'm an idiot. Mm-hmm. Is where this complaint's coming from.
Yeah,
we're playing footsie there.
Feet under the desk.
So my stupid brief knowledge of Norse mythology does not line up with some things that are happening in the game, which I will call a criticism because
you want it your way.
It's not that I want it my way. It's just like
this is how I remember.
I thought some things happened this way, but they're not happening that way, which is fine. It's a freaking fictional game.
Yeah,
you know, but whatever. But to the credit though, there's so much freaking like lore in this game. Mm-hmm. There's panels that you can find that like Kratos opens up and his son will read out like whatever this is happening. So like there's a panel about the World Serpent and Thor, and like I think it's actually it's weird. I don't know for sure, but I think some of it, like one panel is what happened in the past, one panel is like current, and then one panel is like what's going to happen in the future. And so it's really, really interesting. But yeah, story amazing. Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
And I think because I kind of know the stakes that come along with Norse mythology, I'm like really into it and really paying attention to like who we're talking to, what we're doing to certain people, and just kind of like what's going down the line with that. There was one thing that I was really afraid of that we had done based on who I knew the person was and what when a certain thing happens to that person, another thing happens. I'm being real general here.
I'm saying don't say anything.
But I turned out to be wrong.
Okay.
So it's.
Well, I don't want to know what you thought.
I won't tell you. Maybe if we do a spoiler cast for it later. But it's great. Story's good. Kratos and his son, man.
I saw someone say that they like cried at the beginning of the game.
I've had some moments where I genuinely was just like, man, golly, that's
and I keep
rough.
seeing No, what's he say all the time?
Boy.
I keep seeing boy memes everywhere.
Me and Steven, our new favorite thing is whenever somebody says, I'm doing whatever, you say, don't be whatever, be better. Because that's what Kratos says to his son. He's like, don't be sorry, be better.
His voice is so deep.
Oh, man. He's great. It's I forget the actor. He did the mocap and the voice acting for it. But he's awesome. I love his voice. He's great.
Is he as brutal as he was in like the old games?
I would say so. In the first...
Because we've only played 3. In 3, the game starts out with you gouging Poseidon's eyes out and tossing him off a cliff.
I haven't gouged anybody's eyes out yet, but...
And then you ripped off Apollo's head.
I was trying to think... I think it was Funhouse who they played through the first hour, and simultaneously they had like footage of the first hour of 3 going, and it was hilarious how... comparatively it was not as intense. Yeah. Because you're right, like you literally open up the first 5 minutes you're fighting a dragon or whatever, in the other ones. This one, it starts off a little bit slower, but it's very emotional. There's a lot of emotional stuff happening. That said, by like, I don't know, I think me and Steven hit this point in the first hour. There's a huge boss fight that is amazing. It is so brutal, and it's just Kratos completely unleashes on this dude, and it's the one that you peeked in on.
Yeah,
that we were fighting.
Immediately left. I was like, I don't want to know who this
Brodie
is.
was like, check. Oh, nope, gone. I'm out. It's amazing. I mean, mountains are falling down the whole night. I mean, literally, the earth splits open. It's
you're getting too much into it.
I'm sorry. It's intense. Again, that's the first hour. Like, calm down. It's good. It's really, really good. But I want to talk about Kratos and Arduous. I mean, the story is really, really cool because they start off very much. Arduous does not like his dad, and Kratos is a lost father trying to figure out how to. He realizes that now it's just him and his son, and he has to kindle some sort of relationship between his son. And this is a theory. I have no idea. I almost wonder if the mother. I'm not going to say she's going to turn out to be alive or anything, but I wonder if her last request, which is what they're trying to fulfill in the game, I wonder if she made it as ridiculous of a request as it is to give them an opportunity to bond. That's just a theory. We may never know that, but that's just a theory I have
in the
right
old
now.
games, Kratos killed his family, so
that could happen too. I haven't gotten that far.
knows?
But anyway, there's some really sweet
Not on
moments.
purpose. He didn't kill him on purpose.
This is a moment that happens several times, so I don't feel like it's very specific or spoilery. But like, there's moments where Kratos, like Arduous, will be looking off at something, and Kratos will just go he'll reach out a hand to touch him, but then he'll just bring it back, like to give him a pat on the back. You know what I'm saying?
Do it, Kratos.
And he'll just go, and then he'll stop, and it's good, man. It's really good. And there's some story beats where we find out what Arduous really thinks about Kratos and stuff, and it's just emotional. It's really good. It's really good, man. That's what's so good is the story is so engrossing. Yeah. The combat is excellent. The world is amazing. There are a lot of puzzle solving elements. And I feel like I'm constantly have my eyes peeled for chests and stuff, and I don't even know why. I don't know. I know what I'm getting from them, but I'm not using them as much as I thought I would. But I'm peeled, and every now and then I'll find a chest that I don't have the item or the ability to get to it yet, and that really frustrates me. But anyway, it's great. It's great.
I'll play it whenever I get enough money.
It is so good. It is a must play for anyone who has a PS4. It's your exclusive as a PS4 owner, and you should play it for sure.
I think it's the second highest rated PS4 game.
Is it?
I think.
Behind what? Uncharted?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, well,
maybe Uncharted
4. It's really good, and that's coming from somebody who did not like the original God of Wars, was not interested in this one. Now that I've played it, I love it. Absolutely love it.
What this BS is? Amazon Prime yearly price being raised from $99 to $119.
Oh, $119.
Come on, Amazon.
We gotta get Callan on that.
What you thinking?
Kalen.
Why?
Our friend Kalen. He's an Amazon. He works at Amazon.
Oh.
He told me that in the chat once. I think
we're gonna go beat him up.
No, I'm not gonna beat him up. I'm gonna just ask him if he can tell me.
We're coming for you, Callan.
To give me a discount. All right. So Brodie, what have you been playing?
Games discount. Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Because I don't have anything else to play.
It's free to play, and free is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
How? So
nothing's changed.
I've been wanting to ask you for several weeks what this Comet business is about, but you have not frickin' been on the podcast so that I could ask you about it.
Been busy.
But it's good because this week. Shit's gotten real. Shit's gotten real.
Yeah, if you asked me a couple of weeks ago, I'd be like, there's a theory.
Yeah.
But now things are actually happening.
So comets are falling down. Things are meteors.
Sorry, comets.
Meteors.
I think the thing in the air would be considered a comet or an asteroid.
But once they enter the atmosphere, they're meteors.
That is a thing that I have learned today. I've known that they're different things, but I didn't know the specifics of what each thing was.
Right.
If it is not in our atmosphere, it is depending on what it's made of. An asteroid's made of rocks and stuff, and a comet is more of an icy ball. like it's made of ice.
Mm-hmm.
But things can break off of those and enter our atmosphere, which are meteorites, which then become meteors as they fall through the sky. But when they touch the ground, they become meteoroids.
That's too many phases.
You
know what I'm saying?
It's like, what? Just
it's like if you're watching it coming down, you're like, oh man, here comes that comet. Oh, it's a meteor now. Oh, it's a meteor. It hit the ground. Oh, a meteorite. It's like, that's a bit much. Like, let's calm down. Let's be real here. You know what I'm saying?
There's too many phases. Just call it all the same thing.
Just call it a comet and take a break. So anyway,
things are finally happening.
So there's footage out there if you want to go look. But like, people are reporting meteors hitting stuff, breaking apart.
Yeah.
I mean, they're breaking breakables. You know, it's not like they're putting holes in the ground or anything like that.
I saw a video of someone like building a tower. Like
and it hit their tower.
Yeah, and like blew the crap out of it. But that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anybody be hit by one yet.
Right.
It's bound to happen. There's so many people that play the game. But
and then there was a broadcast.
Yesterday there was an emergency broadcast on all the TVs and the.
Did that make a noise or say anything?
Yeah, it's like have you ever heard that? The noise is like
the beep.
Brr,
Yeah.
Brr,
Yeah.
Brr, thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was doing that.
Yeah. And there's like
cool.
There's like a little like watching area on top of one of the towers and Tilted Towers that has like signs people made that's like the outline of Tilted Towers inside of a heart, a UFO, a comet, and a sign that says today, and then it's scratched out and it says tomorrow under it. So yeah, stuff's finally happening. I think this season ends Monday or Tuesday morning, like 4 a.m. Wow. And then the new season starts.
I didn't realize we were that close.
So I'm expecting, like, Monday is probably going to be crazy in game. I told Jake earlier in our group chat, and I was like, I want the final day to just be like Majora's Mask, where the moon is just like over the town and it's all you can see. It'd be really funny too if they played like the Clock Town music that's like, but under it you hear the.
Yeah,
I love this. That game's so good.
It's a great game.
It's a good game.
And then they also announced something today about season 4, and it was the comet, but it's orange, and in the comet it looks like a superhero.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
Yeah,
it looks like a superhero to me.
Well, it's like a masked man standing in a classic Superman type pose.
And it's like, I can't think if I want them to like pay like tribute to
Marvel,
like actual superheroes,
or just come up with
their own.
Well, so here's the deal I'm curious about. So obviously, I mean, Fortnite's a pretty straightforward game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got your weapons, you got whatever. The space theme for season 3. That didn't. I mean, you got cool outfits and stuff, but there was never any like we didn't have a special gear that was space only. You know what I mean?
There was a jetpack, but
they haven't. I was gonna say they never made it though.
Yeah.
But I'm right. Like, there wasn't anything crazy.
Mm.
Okay. I would love if superheroes could do something cool and kind of crazy, but I don't know how they could implement that.
I don't think that'd be balanced.
It
like
probably
fly
would
away or something.
Well, I don't know about flight, but I don't know. It's something like that. I think it would be cool. But
take one bullet to the head, but you block it. You get one chance.
You get one shot.
That'd be invincible. That would literally be pay to win.
It would, because then you'd buy the costume. Yeah, I hope there's a Batman-like costume. I hope there's like, surely they'll do like Marvel hero things.
I don't know. You see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you're gonna see one that's like Batman, but you might see one that's
Wick
like
this season.
Well, but he was never called John Wick, was he?
But he was.
I know. I'm saying it like Rust Lord. A lot of people thought was like a Star Lord kind of spin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got something that looked like Batman, but it was like nocturnal nocturnal rodent man or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that would be cool. But to your point, I think at this point, even if they like made up some superhero costumes, they would end up looking like something that actually exists.
I mean,
there's millions.
There's so many superheroes.
Thousands, probably.
I hope they do villains too.
Yes, that would be awesome. Surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
And even then, they're gonna throw in like stuff that's
not superhero.
Yeah, because this season had John Wick, it had the secret agent chick.
Yeah.
Russ Lord.
Yeah.
So there's going to be stuff that's not superhero.
Not to mention the stuff that comes out in the store that could be anything. Like we had a dinosaur. There's that Raven stuff. Man.
I have that one.
You do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Like
there was some like Asian dude with a maroon mohawk that I got. He's got like a robotic arm. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
He's part of like the night ops.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, I think so.
That and like the craziest one was the astronaut body with a fish in the helmet.
I never saw that one.
Did you really not?
No. Is that in the back? No, I know exactly who you're talking about. I thought that was an alien. I thought people had seen an alien, and I've been trying to find footage of it. But you saying it's a character makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's called Leviathan. It looks like. Did you ever see Megamind?
Yes. Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. I know exactly what you're. I have seen it. I just did not understand what it was.
Which makes me think. I wonder if that was like them trying to say superheroes are coming. Since it was a character from a superhero movie.
What if there was like a Mr. Incredible, Sir Incredible, Incredible Sir,
I don't know,
Incredible Junior. That would be cool.
And you could have like a emote.
So you think next Tuesday?
Super suit.
Next Tuesday is when season 4 should start.
Should, unless they push it back or something.
That's gonna be awesome. All right.
Where's my super suit? Are you excited for the new one?
I have mixed feelings.
I've heard people say that they're like not really looking forward to it.
I feel like it's too much of a rehash of what the original one was.
But reversed.
Yeah. But I'm open. I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to be told I'm wrong. But I personally am just not. I'm not super excited. I kind of wish it had been like years later and not like months or weeks later.
Yeah.
But I digress.
It's been years later for us.
They're also making a freaking live action Kim Possible that no one wanted.
What the
so
fuck?
I don't know. You haven't heard about this?
No.
Okay, this wasn't in here, but I'm ranting about it now. They are. I think actually we talked about this on another podcast. If we didn't, I cut it at the last minute. Disney is making a freaking live action Kim Possible, but it's like Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable that we know and love, just live action, and it's not going to be as good. Who's playing them? I can tell you their names, but they just recently announced it.
You're playing games on your work computer?
Where you see
Frameo?
What?
The Frame.io thing?
That's where I send videos, dude.
Oh, my bad. I thought that anything with .io in it was a
game.
Yeah.
No, that's like the new .com, man.
Really?
Get with the times, yo.
I didn't know that because there's like Slitherio. There's a Fortnite.io thing.
Is there?
Yeah.
That's just a website.
Is that how you say that, or do you say .io?
I say .io, but
I'm gonna say that sounds better.
I think it sounds normal. But
why is everyone hating on .com?
I think we're running out of .coms.
You can do that? You can run out of .coms?
I think so.
Everybody's taking up all the .com names.
And like, oh god, IGN's posting a bunch of stuff. I'm not looking. I'm looking for Kim Possible, the freaking crap. You know what? I retweeted somebody who posted it. Give me just a second. I'll find there. I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not real excited about it. In fact, I'm real mad about it. I don't want this live action Kim Possible that's happening.
You've been mad about a lot of things lately.
You know, I'm getting real bitter in my old age, and it's not my fault.
Wasting time on this mini game. Why are they making a live action movie?
Did you delete my tweet or something? Why is it not showing up? Here it is. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So that's the new actor and actress. Regardless, the point is, it's live action. It's not going to be as good as the animated. I don't want the animated. I don't want a live action. I want an animated that's the same characters. I'd love it if they could get the same voice actors. But I want to see Ron and Kim married, older, and see what their kids do. That's what I want.
Who even was Christy Carlson Romano?
Yes.
Was the voice of Kim Possible. I don't remember the guy's name though.
The guy, I forget who played Ron, but he also voiced Deadpool in a Spider-Man comic. Or not comic, but
he voiced
animated.
a comic.
Animated show. Okay, so the new live action is 16-year-old Sadie Stanley will play Kim Possible. And
yeah, I wouldn't know these people then.
Yeah, they're new. Seth Giamborn, I think. Oh, he's from the Goldbergs. He's gonna be Ron Stoppable.
Like I know what that is.
It's an ABC show that's like set in the 80s or 70s or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm not. That wasn't on. I didn't save that story because I didn't want to talk about it. Because all I have to say about it is I'm not happy about it. So there you go. That's all I got. Moving on. Let's talk about some stuff I am happy about, Brodie. PS Plus games for the month of May.
PS Plus.
PS Plus. We got Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
From the developers that are making Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Become Human.
Become Human.
Become a Human.
Become a Human. You were an android, but you're now a human.
I want to be a human being, please.
Lee Allison will love that quote.
Human being.
A human being. She really likes the quote about human beings. Then also Rayman Legends, which you said is a fun game.
In quotation marks.
Brodie, quote.
Is a fun game.
Is a fun game. No, you had exclamation marks on there and everything. You were real excited about it.
Did I use exclamation? Usually I save the exclamation marks for Alex Ann's text.
Oh, well, you put one in ours, and I was like, whoa, yeah. Brodie.
I must admit.
Really likes it. Yeah,
it's a good platformer.
Yeah, it looks good. I never played. So the best part about this is I never played both. I didn't play any of these.
No,
so these are brand new games for me.
David Cage game. He made Beyond Two Souls.
Yes.
Detroit Become Human. Heavy Rain. Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot about Heavy Rain. Mm-hmm. Most of it being memes. Beyond Two Souls got in trouble when it first came out.
Why?
Because there was a nude rendering in the game of Ellen Page.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, I didn't say y'all could do that. So they got in trouble for it. Mm. And I guess they patched it out.
There's a lot of controversy because there's the whole
I've heard he's a weird dude.
There's the whole scenario in Detroit Become Human with the abuse situation you're going to be put in. Mm-hmm. Which you're saving someone from abuse, so it's a little bit different than causing abuse.
I heard he's like a weird dude, like in other games, like
he's
girls being put in like weird situations and stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
Well, I think this was an interesting choice for PS Plus because
I don't think it's a good choice.
Really?
No, I feel like people would like play that and be like, "Well, I want to play this before I play this other game." And what if that one sucks? Which I've heard is not as good, as Heavy Rain and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it'll be years before I get to it.
I haven't,
considering my backlog that I have. But I think marketing wise, it was a good decision because every bio, I just did it. Every bio headline I've read about this says
every bio. What?
I said bio, but I meant every article I've read about this does what I just did and says Beyond Two Souls, made by the makers of Detroit Become Human, coming out in May, whatever. So I think it was a good strategy to kind of point towards the other game. But yeah, you're right. If people play it and be like, I don't want to play Detroit if it's going to be like this. I don't think that's going to happen as much.
Those haven't really interested me. Detroit looks interesting, but the other two games I mentioned has been eh.
Well, I think. I could be wrong. I've never played them. But from what I remember and have seen, I feel like those are more on the Telltale kind of side where it's like you're choosing a choose-your-own-story kind of game. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think, at least from what I've seen, Detroit is going to have a lot more interaction built in there. So speaking of which, Steven's going to be playing Detroit today.
Demo. Not the game.
Not the game, but the demo. And you can jump in the chat there, and he may even let you make some decisions.
Try to force him to do what you want.
Yeah. I mean, you can play it. So from what I've seen, you can play the demo as many times as you want. Do it as many ways as you want. So.
And you can play it with an Alexa.
Yes.
You say, Alexa, make this choice. I don't know how it actually works in the game, but
you can ask her questions. So, like, I was watching a video, like, there's a TV broken, and you can be like, Alexa, tell me about this TV. And she'll tell you some stuff, like which the one I watched, it was like, the TV is damaged. And I was like, that sounds like my Alexa. That's exactly what my favorite thing about my Alexa is every night she can control my lights. And I'll be like, all right, Alexa, turn off the bed lamp. And she'll go, okay. Nothing happens. And it's the most like, you bitch, kind of moment. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say she'd say okay and like make it brighter.
No. She'll just say okay and not do anything.
If she did that, I'd like lie awake all night and be like, machines are gonna kill humans one day.
Oh boy. But anyway, after Rayman Legends, if you still got your PS3 up and running, you can play Risen 3, Eat Them All.
That's the game I want to play right now.
Yeah, Brodie's hungry. And then on Vita, but it's also cross-buy on PS3 and PS4, you can play King Oddball. And then on the Vita, you can play Furmans. I'm kind of ready for the PS3 games and the Vita games to just be cut. You know what I mean?
Get them out of here.
I really considered today just not reading them. Are we getting more stuff? We don't know. We don't know. Okay. I'm a little upset because there hasn't been like a new special VR game thrown in there in the last few months.
The last one was...
There have been a lot of good VR games coming out.
The last one was a shooty game.
No. There was another one before then. Starblood Arena. Mm-hmm. That came after. You're thinking of Until Dawn's Rush of Blood.
Yep.
But there have been those two, and I feel like there was one other one that was, but they haven't done one at least in the last 2 months, and it's a little frustrating. Just a little frustrating.
Like I have a VR.
And I want to use it.
The price of the PSVR went down recently.
It did.
It's cheaper to get it now, folks.
It is. It's
Please
fun. It's a lot of fun.
Please buy it.
If you get it, get Super Hot. That's by far the best VR game. Real quick, we'll read through the Xbox games for gold, but we're not gold. We're not Xbox.
We're not golden boys.
We're not Xbox people. So, Super Mega Baseball.
Woohoo!
Metal Gear Solid 5, taking a page out of PS4's book.
You stole that from PlayStation.
The Sega Vintage Collection, and then Vanquish. So there you go. If you have Vanquish, you're one of those Xbox folks.
I heard Vanquish was cool.
All right.
Even if I wanted to talk about those, I don't know anything about all of them.
I mean, I know a little bit about Metal Gear. Baseball is baseball. Sega Vintage, I don't know what's all in that. And then Vanquish, I don't even know what that is. So
I can just say, people said Vanquish is cool.
People say Vanquish is cool.
People say, in quotation marks, Vanquish is cool.
All right, we're going to transfer. At the beginning of every show, I say we talk about TV shows, movies, anime, video games. But then we never talk about those things. Well, today, we're talking about movies. And they're all Marvel related. Although some of these are owned solely by Sony and not Marvel.
My theory for Infinity War is that
Thanos is going to snap his fingers and suddenly all of Marvel's properties will come back to them?
No. Is that everyone will die and then the Suicide Squad will take their place. Even though they're from DC. That's
a great theory, Brodie. Let's talk about Venom. Speaking of great theories, let's talk about Venom. So we've had a Venom teaser out for a while, but the first real trailer dropped, and we actually saw Venom.
I don't know how I feel about it. Venom looks cool, but I don't know how I feel about the movie.
I think Venom looks cool. So here's my deal. I dabble in the comic books every now and then. Usually what I do is I like read recaps of what have happened and stuff. And so there's been this theme for a while with Venom being an anti-hero.
So that's something they're actually doing in the comic?
Yes.
I thought that was something that Sony was like, I'm too scared to make a villain movie, so we'll just make him an anti-hero.
I mean, can you really make a villain movie? You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. I'd be interested in it.
I don't know.
See a movie just about a bad guy.
Being bad?
Being bad. Just doing bad boy things.
The bad guy movie.
That's its tagline.
But yeah,
bad boy things.
But no, villain in the comics has kind of become an anti-hero. Like, he'll do good things, but also kind of cause chaos. So I've seen a lot of people read that line where it's like, embrace your inner anti-hero that it says in the trailer, and get like real freaking mad about it. And I'm like, I don't know why you're mad about that. There's plenty of other things going on you can be mad about.
What was the quote in it? He like walks up to some girl and he's like, "The guy you work for is a bad person."
Yes.
Or something.
Yes.
It's like, what?
It's a little weird because like Eddie Brock, the other part of this that I don't like is like, where's Spider-Man? You know, we need Spider-Man.
Because I've seen people say, I didn't know this, but the spider on his chest is from the symbiote bonding with Spider-Man first.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And that's why he has his web slinging powers and stuff.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes.
That is a thing that I learned this week.
Yes. No, Venom first appeared in a Spider-Man comic book, and just like in Spider-Man 3, it bonds with Peter. Peter fights it off, and then it falls on Eddie Brock, and that's where the Venom comes from. Now, Venom has possessed or taken over several other people, but he's always taken on the appearance of a Spider-Man just gone Venom, whatever. It's never been... There are other Venoms, like there's a Deadpool Venom and like other heroes that have been venomized by other symbiotes and stuff. But anyway, I digress. I could go on.
What is Carnage going on?
He is a different type of symbiote.
Okay.
Also, while we're on this, is it Symbi, like B-Y-E-ote, or is it Symbi, like a bzz?
I've seen a lot of people arguing. I've always said symbiote.
A ton of people are arguing. I've always said symbiote. But I think I said symbiote a minute ago. So I don't really know. Anyway, moving on.
Maybe I should change it up.
The thing I'm curious about, I kind of like it and I kind of don't, is how goody two-shoes Eddie Brock is. Because, yeah, you're right. He's like, the guy you work for is a bad man. And then Venom, when he takes over, he starts like talking in his head. And he's like, let's go kill stuff. And Eddie's like, no, we have to use our powers for good or whatever. And it's just like, come on, okay.
I saw someone's theory that like the entire movie is going to be Eddie Brock fighting it off and being like, no, I want to be a good person. And then at the end, it's going to be that scene where he said, we are Venom.
Uh-huh.
And it's just going to end there.
God, I hope not.
That would be so bad. If finally at the end of the movie, he embraces the evil.
I hope there's at least more Venom than that. That'd be pretty sad.
I'd be pissed.
I'd be mad too. Well, for one,
I don't. Sony can't write good movies. I feel like
they certainly struggle.
Superhero movies.
They certainly struggle. I don't know.
Their superhero movies are just rough.
I know Steven's kind of who I look to for like Marvel opinions, and then I usually take however salty his is, pour a little water in that, mix it up, pour a little bit of the salt out, and then that's what I take from it. But he's still not happy about it.
Yeah.
I think he looks cool.
Venom looks cool.
But I don't know how the rest of it's going to go.
At first I was like kind of hopeful about it. And then I read that it's the writer from
50 Shades of Grey wrote the script.
Yeah. That's writing for Venom. And it's like, it's probably not going to be good.
Oh, man. I don't know. But speaking of things that will be good, let's talk about some other Marvel news. So I don't know what press event happened, but a lot of news outlets spoke to Kevin Feige, who's the big man at Marvel.
The big Marvel man?
He's the big Marvel man. Captain Marvel, they call him.
I thought Stan Lee was the big Marvel man.
And that's the big Marvel. That's the big Marvel. That's Big Daddy Marvel. This is like head of Marvel Studios.
What do you think Stan Lee's going to be in Infinity War? What's he going to be doing?
Oh man, I hadn't thought about that. I hope they fully embrace the Watcher theory.
I've seen a lot of people say that.
Well, because, he's in Guardians 2, there's a moment where he's sitting with a bunch of Watchers, and he's telling them stuff. And it's like, oh my God, they confirmed it. Like, they've confirmed it. It's confirmed. But I really hope he, I don't know, man. I just want him to, really take over and, show up and do something. But I don't know. We'll see.
What if he kicks someone's ass in the movie?
You know what I just envisioned as I was talking about that was like at the end, and it could only happen in part 4, but like at the end of part 4, they like get Thanos almost defeated, and then Stan Lee and an army of Watchers come in, and they're like, Thanos, you have threatened the universe, whatever, and they like take him away. That'd be great, but I don't know. Whatever. That's fun. That would have been a great video, Brodie. I wish you had suggested that earlier. But
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Will Stan Lee be a Watcher?
Just what will Stan Lee's cameo be in this movie? We could have all taken bets. Anyway, I digress. What we're about to talk about is movies that are way down the line in Marvel or are going to be after part 4. So I don't think there are any Infinity War spoilers in this.
I mean, the most that I got from this is Spider-Man's gonna live.
That was the only thing I was really thinking about. But anyway, so potential light spoilers, but really more theories about what's coming next. Anyway, the big thing that I want to talk about is so Spider-Man 2 will be the first movie to happen after Infinity War Part 2, otherwise known as The Avengers Part 4. It's a complicated system.
It's turning into Kingdom Hearts.
I'm telling you, man. Anyway, it'll be the sequel to Homecoming, and Kevin Feige describes it as Peter Parker returning to, quote, normal life after Infinity War. So obviously, Infinity War is going to be a huge movie. It's 2 parts. It's going to be cosmic.
This one's 2.5 hours long?
2.5. Yeah. Maybe a little longer. Like I think it's 235 or 240.
It's crazy long.
Crazy
long. For a superhero movie, that's crazy
and it's
long.
2-part. Like there's going to be another part later.
Yeah.
So anyway, potentially the biggest movie event to happen, certainly in the last 10 years.
I mean, the build-up's been insane.
More. Yeah. The build-up's been 10 years. There's 18 movies that have led up to this moment that really won't even be a moment of, like, the moment won't finish. 18 movies. Infinity War is 19. Then we have 2 movies in between part 1 of this movie. It'll be like 22 movies total.
Yeah. That
have led up to this moment.
Because like my family over the weekend was like, I was like, have y'all like been keeping up with the Marvel movies or something? And they were like, no. It was like they think there's too many, and I wonder how many people are actually like that. There's just too many. I can't keep up with it. Like an oversaturation.
I'm starting to feel that way, but if you watch them when they come out, it's just one every few months. It's not enough,
which
Brodie.
Is cool. I think
it's great.
Cool.
It's awesome. Anyway, this is undoubtedly one of the biggest movie events ever, and like we were talking about a minute ago, what do you do after that?
No, dude, it's been this 10-year build-up to like this huge villain.
And then it's going to end. It's going to end at some point. We don't know how it's going to end. But anyway.
And then it's going to go to the next movie, and Spider-Man's going to be fighting, like, Electro or something. It's like...
I have a theory that he's going to fight Electro.
It's like, he's going to fight Rhino. It's just like, this is exciting.
Well, so here's what... So he calls it returning to normal life. And I think this was a great choice because Peter Parker has always been your average guy. He's real smart. But he's still a kid, you know. He is one of the only characters in the Marvel Universe at this point that I know of who has a secret identity.
Everyone else just knows.
Everyone else, and that was a big moment in Iron Man when he was like, "I'm Iron Man," and just went with it. Because then, since then, pretty much everybody has gone by. Like everyone knows that Steve Rogers is Captain America, and so on and so forth. T'Challa, King of Wakanda, is the Black Panther. Like, we all know that. Spider-Man, I still don't think people know. So anyway, he's going to return to normal life. But he also talked about the movie would be globetrotting. So, like, Spider-Man is going to be going across the world. So I imagine he'll be working with whatever Avengers are left. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it'll be as big as, like, Civil War, where there's, like, a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to... I feel like they're going to let him fight something pretty big for Spider-Man.
You think Iron Man's going to die? And it's going to be like an Uncle Ben moment all over again?
We're not talking about this. That's not what we're talking about. I don't know. Okay? I don't know anything.
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight?
No. Not really. I'm trying not to think about it. But anyway, that's That's news 1. That's really all we got.
Newsball 1.
Newsball 2. And I think we've talked about this on a podcast, but we talked about it in passing. It wasn't like a headline. We do not know what Avengers Part 4 or Avengers 4 is called. Originally, when it was announced, it was Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. Somewhere along that line, they said, nix that. It's not Part 2 anymore. It's called something else.
And it's going to scare you.
But we didn't know. And then someone came, I think it was one of the Russo brothers came along and said, we haven't announced it because it's going to scare you, which a lot of people took as a spoiler. Anyway, what that did was now people are like really curious about what that title's going to be. So Kevin Feige, they asked him about it, and he said that was a complete backfire. Because what he said was when they did Age of Ultron, they also announced Infinity War would be Part 3. Well, then no one gave a flying flip about Ultron because that whatever the hell, like that's Infinity War is coming, you know. And so the idea was, let's not detract from Part 1 by naming the other one Part 2 or whatever. So really, they were just holding it back to give more attention to Infinity War. It's not that. And it still could be. It still could be. This is just what he said. He said he's like, now all that's going to happen is we're going to reveal the name, and everyone's going to be like, why the heck did they keep this a secret? This isn't a big deal. Because it's not. He's like, we just didn't want to like tell people what was coming next so that they wouldn't pay attention to the movie we got going now. Which I kind of think is stupid because who's not going to pay attention to the Infinity War? Yeah. But I digress.
I didn't think anyone was like, Infinity War is coming out? I'm not going to see Age of Ultron. Screw that.
Oh, he says that it detracted from the attention. So, I don't know. Whatever. A lot of people didn't like Ultron.
Do you think that this series is bigger now than it was of Age of Ultron? Or do you think it's like kind of dropped?
I think it's gotten better.
Like, there's more of like a fan base.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like, I was telling somebody this recently, I feel like in the last maybe 4 or 5 movies, Marvel has really like found themselves. Like, because you look back at like Thor 1 or...
I don't know if I could go back and watch those movies.
I couldn't. I don't know that I could either. Even Avengers 1, there's some things that I'm just like... And Avengers 1 is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that movie had like everybody screaming in the theater.
Yes. But there's some moments that I watch again and I'm like, that was good, and that got them somewhere, but it's so much better now. Like, you think about Thor Ragnarok, how good that movie is.
That was a good-ass movie.
It's really freaking good. But then you think
about Thor 2.
Yeah, it's not as good. Not as good.
I never even saw the first Thor.
That one is actually really good, but compared to Ragnarok. Anyway, and all like that to say, yes, I think it is bigger, and I think more people are interested. Hell, Black Panther probably doubled the Marvel fanboy population, if I had to guess, just because of how freaking huge that movie was.
Yeah.
Also, again, not spoiler, but theory, there's no way in hell they kill Black Panther in this movie.
No.
Not a chance in hell. Not a damn chance in hell. Now,
top 3 choices of who you think's gonna die right now.
Loki, Vision, and Captain America. That's complete theory. I have not seen anything.
I want Hulk. I don't want him to die. I want Hulk to get his
Holy moly, dude. Jeez.
I want him... that's going to show, like, everyone's been like, Thanos is going to, like, kill this colony, and that's going to show how serious he is.
Supposedly.
But what if he just, like, destroys Hulk?
Supposedly, and we're going off on a tangent here, but supposedly, Thor Ragnarok started a really interesting 3-movie arc for Hulk. From what I've read and heard from the actors. So, because in Thor Ragnarok, he had been Hulk for like, I think a year or something.
Yeah.
Without changing. So when he got control back, he was like, I don't know. He was like, if I change back, I don't know that I'm coming back, you know? So he
has to change in this movie.
Well, he does. He changed into Hulk and was Hulk at the end of the movie. My theory, and again, I have not seen it yet. So if you've seen it and I'm right or wrong, I don't want to know. But I think that Thanos is going to show up, punch Hulk so hard he slams into Earth, and turns back into Bruce Banner because it hurts so much. But anyway, I digress. We're moving on. So that's one. Part 4's title may not be as big of a deal as we thought it was. The last thing he mentioned and talked about is they're thinking about doing a Nova movie. And they're also thinking about doing a movie about the Eternals, which, as I understand, is the race of beings that Thanos is. Which could be interesting.
I guess.
So, like, I as I understand it, that would be like the creation of the Infinity Stones, almost like a prequel, like a major prequel to everything. It could be cool.
Someone has had all the Infinity Stones before this, right?
There are lots of people in the comics who get it. In Infinity War, the comic book, Adam Warlock, who was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
In the cocoon?
In the cocoon.
Yeah.
He, in the comics, gets the gauntlet and restores stuff back to how it's supposed to be. One theory that I've heard about is so in the comic, Thanos comes, gets the gauntlet, messes stuff up.
He kills everyone, doesn't he?
I don't know, but he pretty much screws everything up. But then, not Gamora, but I forget her name. Is it Nova? It's not Nova.
I think so.
No, it's not Nova. Is it Nova? Anyway, Gamora's sister, who's got the blue face and everything from Guardians, she gets the gauntlet and kind of restores everything. She kind of like fixes a few things, but also she like makes some other stuff go better for her. And then there's kind of like the second half of the battle that's all messed up. Then Adam Warlock gets it and puts everything back to normal. And I don't know if he destroys the gauntlet, keeps the gauntlet, or what. But anyway, that's how it happens in the comics. That's my brief knowledge of that. But anyway,
what if Thanos just wins everything? And then just
I fully expect that. I fully expect that to be how this movie goes. Could be.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Let us know. Don't let us know.
We'll talk about it next week on next week's podcast. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this episode of ChortleCast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, you can help us out in a few ways. Number one, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you're already at ChortleGames.com, and you can leave us a comment on this video. Let us know what you thought about our theories. At this point, we're wrong because people have seen the movie and know how it's going, but we're going to see the movie tonight and tomorrow, so hey, you know, whatever, hang out. Make a comment, let us know what you thought of our discussion. There's a lot of other fun things we talked about, like God of War and Fortnite, so you know, you can comment about that. If you're an iTunes listener or an audio podcast listener, you can leave us a nice little review. iTunes is the best place to do that. Helps get the word out about the podcast, so we appreciate that. You can also email us at chortlecast@gmail.com. You can send us topic ideas. We've done some things like, do reviews matter? I think that was last week. I forget, there was another great one that we did a while back. What makes a game, like what makes you want to keep playing a game, topics like that. If you want to send us something like that you have an idea of us talking about, you can do that at chortlecast@gmail.com. You can also tweet us at Twitter. We're on Twitter as Chortle Games. We're on Facebook as Chortle Games. And we're on Twitch as Chortle_Games. And you can contact us through any of those things, and we'll comment and contact you back. Anyway, it's been a good show. A lot of Infinity War talk and excitement. Next week, we will definitely be talking about Infinity War. So, Friday, if you're watching live, that's when this goes up, every Friday at 12 o'clock. Brodie and Steven are going to be live streaming Necropolis. What is that, Brodie?
I don't even... We played it like once before.
I don't even
remember it. I know it's like...
Is that the one with like the hoods and the guys with the glowing eyes, but it's like a dungeon crawler?
It's like a randomly procedurally
generated...
what you said.
Dungeon
procedurally
crawler.
Generated. Yeah, dungeon. But it's like Dark Souls gameplay, kind of. But not like as fluid. And
it's kind of got a polygon type look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to be streaming that. And then also Steven is going to be streaming Detroit Become Human demo, which came out earlier this week. So he's probably going to play through it once or twice. He usually likes to do long streams. So jump in the chat there. Let him know what you can help him make decisions and whatnot and solve the first scenario. And then Saturday, we're doing Far Cry 5 fan-made maps. One of our subs, Kalen, has made us a new map. If you have a map in Far Cry 5 Arcade that you'd like us to play, you can jump in that video. You can let us know what your name is in the game. We can search you. We can play through a couple of your maps. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time. Then Monday, A Way Out, Part 6 is happening. Going to be a lot of fun. Tuesday, Steven's XCOM series continues. Last week, your character led a mission, and as I understand it, he botched it.
I don't know.
I
heard that someone else was badass, but...
It was me.
No, he said Colleen.
Colleen was badass, but I was also badass. No, Colleen...
He didn't talk about your badass.
Colleen... Well, that's because I saved your ass a couple times, and that wasn't as great. So, you led a mission fighting the assassin, and they won. It was all good. Everybody survived. In fact, I don't think anybody got wounded. I think he told me Joey got wounded, but it was because he kicked a barrel and exploded on him or something. It was something stupid that Joey did. Anyway,
my character just always has PTSD. That's all.
Yours. I don't remember. I don't know what you did, but Steven was like, "Come on, Brodie. What the heck, man? You were Player of the Week next week." But then he went on another mission with some pretty much all newbies. It was people in the chat who had just created characters. And then Colleen, who is a character from a sub, who's a badass. But she apparently went through the ringer. Steven was saying all sorts, like a truck got thrown on top of her, and then that truck exploded and shot her through a building. Then the building exploded, and he was like, I don't know how she lived, but she made it. So anyway, we have a lot of fun on those streams, so feel free to jump in. If you want to be a part of those, you can comment on any of our videos. Steven needs a first name and last name. They can be fake or real, or they can be another character. He needs a class if you know what class you want to be, and then any sort of descriptive items, like if you want to be wearing a hat or have red hair or something like that. He can do any of those. Then Wednesday, me and Brodie are playing a little game called Swords of Ditto, which is a fun little game. What's the Loco Roco? Is that the game that they partnered with or something?
I have no clue.
It's a cute little dungeon crawler game. It's kind of top down. There's swords and cute little characters. It reminds me a lot of some Cartoon Network series. I don't know.
Adventure Time?
Adventure Time, maybe? Yeah, it does have a lot of Adventure Time feel. Anyway, should be a lot of fun. We're going to be playing that Wednesday. Then Thursday's Couch Co-op. Don't know what Steven's got planned, but it'll be something with Couch Co-op. And then, of course, Friday we'll have another podcast. We'll be talking about Infinity War. And then we'll have 2 live streams on Friday and 2 live streams on Saturday. But I don't know what those are yet because we haven't gotten that far, okay? Jeez.
Come on.
Jeez, calm down.
Come on.
Anyway, have fun watching Infinity War this weekend. Brodie, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, don't tell us spoilers. We don't want to know
Thanos
spoilers.
demands your silence. We'll see you next week.
Bye, bitch.